صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم يا نبي سلام عليك يا رسول سلام عليك يا حبيب سلام عليك صلوات الله عليك مرحبا يا نور عيني مرحبا جد الحسين مرحبا أهلا وسهلا مرحبا يا خير داعي يا رسول الله يا سلام يا سلام عليكم سلام عليك يا رسول الله على المدينة منورة صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم صلى الله على سيدنا محمد اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه.
لبيك اللهم لبيك
لبيك اللهم لبيك
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك
إن الحمد
والنعمة
لك والملك
لا
شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك
لبيك اللهم لبيك
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك
إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك
لبيك اللهم لبيك
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك
لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك
إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم كل آمن وأنتم بخير. اليوم 15 من رمضان 1446 هجري الموافق بيوم الأحد. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. It is ما شاء الله تبارك الله, it is the 15th of Ramadan in Cape Town, South Africa. It is يوم الأحد, it is the first day of the cycle, and we're on the halfway mark of our ascension into a higher personification of what reality entails. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. People, Allahumma salli wa sallim wa barik alayhi. All praise be upon your parents, your ancestors, families, and their close companions. It is in a disclosure that you have to realize internally that the truth has never been factually placed on the external. The speculations that we had confined ourselves in had provoked our thought patterns, and it had consumed our lifestyles, and it had idolized our gods. For the layman in the road, those of us that refuses to read and to research and to investigate and to share thought, they had denied themselves the greatest miracle that Allah ever created, and that was the ability to use their minds. They used their preconditioned, deceived minds, their inferiority complexes and operational systems of their minds to deceive themselves. Okay, deceive the God that they thought was their creator, and they deceive most of all their ancestors, their mothers, their fathers. And this is where a civilization is having to realize that if she cannot take with her on her journey to her next stage of expansion, of puberty, of recognizing and reading their book of life, their side notes, they can never walk this path by themselves. You can never do it by yourself. You can never do it by thinking that you believe in a Allah and a Rasul it's going to be enough. It's not enough. After reading thousands of books, mashallah. We've read thousands of books, people, since young, yani. So yani, now we watch and we cross-reference, and you have to look at yani, what the input of your own was, okay? As a civilization, you have been educated in Western, yani, secular curriculums, which obviously dominates where your superiority is, because in the language is buried the spell, okay? So your Allah, my Allah, our Allah, Rabbuna, He never makes you born without a official stamp, a jat, a asl, okay? No, no plant is born without a original seed, okay? That is your roots in your pool. Okay? No roots, people, no life. No roots, no feeling. No roots, no vibrations. No roots, no frequency. No roots, no Quran. No roots, no Jannah. That's just how the system is modeled. So ask yourself tonight, as you complete your 15th lap of this tournament that you had subscribed to, do you ever mention in your dua since you were born in this earth, your great-great-grandmother, just your great-grandmother that you never met in your life, has she ever crossed your mind? Or your great-grandfather, or your father's uncle's uncle, your uncle also, your mother's uncle's aunt, your aunt also. But in the way that you have and I have been modeled in our thought patterns, we only think of foreign people. We only make great people that has no life in your roots. Okay? Now you have to understand yourself here, guys. You stand alone. Your parents cannot stand with you because you do not know their parents. You do not acknowledge 50 years in this world. You only cry because you miss your mother. But there was somebody that brought your mother here. But you deny that. You are in denial of that ni'mah. And so are you in the denial of her mother's mother. And so you become in denial of what? Of yourself. Because now you only live here. You cannot enter here. This is Jannah here. The heart is the, it's the garden of the Jannah if it is pure. If it is modeled in the format that it doesn't allow any impurities to enter into. Okay? That can only come, people, once the impurities has been filtered in the mind. Okay? Got to do with your education. It's got to do with your medication. It's got to do with your it's got to do with your kindness. Okay. At this stage in our evolution as a civilization, as a collective conscious human, a collective God mind. The God mind is the conscious. The unconscious is the humans that has not identified with purpose and who are they. Okay? Everything in you and I will rot, will decompose, and so too will our bones. But from what is the bones made? Ask yourself. Wat is so hard in die been? What kind of dust is the bones created of that it takes up to 15 years to completely vanish as you vanish out of this reality? and most of the time, yani, nobody remembers most of your yani, troubles or glamour or your achievements because you did not associate it to your roots. Okay, most of people are forgotten because they had denied their own ancestors. Now, I'll tell you how it works. Your bones, yani your iram, which Allah makes mention of, anything Allah makes mention of in the Quran has a purpose, deeply, deeply weaved in your reality and your philosophy and your physiology and your psychology. Okay? The bones, julle bene, ons ma, ons moeder sit gelyk om bene in die sop te gooi, broers. Daai bene, het ons mens altyd gesê, ons moet die murg uitgesuig het. En ons moet gesuig het die krag van die bene, because alles lê in die, yani, ons kry ons krag van die bene. Because daar is wat jou origin is in jou bloed, your origin is in jou bene, because die bene is gemaak van wat? Van stardust. The stars, the dust, the particles of the dust, that is how somebody illuminates in the dark. Okay? Your forefathers people used to follow the stars. Okay? 100 years ago, they had communication with the celestial, yani Milky Lane, that nobody could understand but your ancestors, because they were given this natural science by their yani, natural order, their natural rhythms, their natural patterns, their natural codes. Okay, so their ancestors, if you understand what the stars were bin najmi yahtadun, the Quran speaks about it, but not because you are not aware of it, because you have been numbed, dumbed, and deafened. Yani, you are no longer the species that came from your original. Okay, so the star dust that is in your bones is not illuminating and attracting the stars, the ancestors. Okay, the sisters. Yani, that is how they could name the three sisters, the stars above. Okay, that is how our ancestors, that is how our parents taught us as we navigate through our journey of earth. Your father and your mother should recognize, you must recognize the nujum. وَإِذَا النَّجْمُ يعني وَالنَّجْمِ وَمَا هَوَى ما ضل صاحبكم وما ما ضل صاحبكم وما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى سيدنا محمد. Anyway, doesn't come to mind. This journey that you have to connect with is not externally. It's never about who you know, it's about who you come from. And there's been no mistake, never been a mistake. Everything has been precisely on spot. Okay? However, you and I preserve that star-dust connection, illuminates that attraction and that exchange of mutual love, mutual existence, mutual recognition. Okay, that in turn gives you die krag, laat sy die bene van die sop gesuig het en die murg uitgetrek het. Okay, these are all codes that your ancestors, your great mothers, your mothers had placed and tried to activate, so that when it came to this time of the Furqan, where there is a split in our reality dimensions, They would have preferred you to be part of those who entered into the new age with yani, with the inheritance that they had gifted you. Okay? So if you did not collect yours, then it would be gifted to those who had yani, made best of the ancestors' inheritance in their lifetime. Okay? This is in the Quran. That which you are considering as, see what we had done in Jahannam when we were in the unconscious level of a reality, we became infatuated thinking that we can yani, own. You see, that's the very, very lowest form of a reality that God considers death. Okay? So when we are in the death mode, we do things which is absolutely crazy in Allah's eyes. Because sy kan nie enigiets own nie, because sy kan niks saam met jou vat nie. It was nooit joune nie, it was altyd Allah sinne. It was altyd gewees om te gedeceive word, and you fell for the joke. Okay? There was other ways of how to come yani, around it, but yet het ons geval met ons botte in die botte. Right? This argument since COVID, subhanallah, if you didn't realize that everything was taken away from you and your life, and you are currently residing in the death zone, that you had to come out of your qabr, that is the 6 years that they give you for the ba'ath, so that you can stand in qiyamah, so that you can be part of the haqq, okay? You can vibrate the frequency of the ancestors. As Allah Ta'ala says, I was just reading an ayah here now. Subhanallah. Allah says this in the Quran, in Surah Al-Hajj. You see, what we as the new visionaries of the age now have to do is, because that infatuation that you lived in and deceived ourselves in what was very limited in the word and how we had defined and pillars of Islam, which we had already destroyed in COVID, we had to switch it back to stages, because you have to go back into your stages of your levels of maturity. If you could not recognize a messenger 5 years ago in COVID, as niemand niks maar like as op julle deure kon klip het nie, as niemand iets opgemaak het hier nie, as niemand iets opgemaak het hier nie, dan is julle dood. Julle is dood. Verstaan julle nie? Your ancestors couldn't reach you because you didn't open up the doors, because some of us even buried our mothers in plastic bags, guys. Don't forget these things. Are you crazy? You never forget these things, because these are the things that has been recorded in our lives that was causing our destruction. The haqq don't die, people. We just deny the haqq. So when Allah Ta'ala says, فَإِذَا قَضَيْتُم مَنَاسِكَكُمْ فَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَذِكْرِكُمْ آبَاءَكُمْ أَوْ أَشَدَّ ذِكْرًا. The entire methodology of what Hajj is going to fundamentally change, because it's got nothing to do with a payment. Now in this new age, people, it is what you can give up. It is how you can reform within yourself, because nothing happens outside if it did not process inside. Everything you do is only internal. Everything is unconscious. Okay? When you are unconscious, I can use your unconscious states, and I can prey on it, and I can make you worship me, and I can derail you and mislead you and disassociate you from your natural order, your fitra. Okay? So that is how in a new age you have to realize that the sciences, the wisdom of the ancestors becomes wajib, because you did not pay for it. They gave it to you, the wisdom, for free. What you went and did with it, You thought the bogger met die man, die mense is mos 'n klompie donkies man. Ek gaan vir hulle gaan vir hulle replace met slim mense van oor die see, verstaan? That consequences costed us, many of us, subhanallah, got washed away. And we're not ashamed about it, by the way, okay? It's just for us like, amal is daar, so as ons gaan brand, gaan amal ook maar saam brand. Don't think so selfishly. Think of your ancestors. There are billions of human beings that you are the single product that you came through. You are the representative of billions of your own, but you only thought of yourself. That's the heaviest penalty in this earth, is that you don't feel them. Sy kan niks doen aan Bruce. Sy kan nie sê, Allah help vir my neem, because vir wie is sy gaan Allah vra? Waar kom sy vandaan? Van watter planet is sy dan van? Sy kom aan hier, sonder niksie. Sy kom aan hier asof sy 'n no-name is. Sy kom aan hier asof sy het no lineage. Allah follows everything. It's nodes. It's just nodes. We know the nodes that goes on, that is activated in the conscious of the human being. You're only alive in your conscious, not in your body, people. Your body is working for you. You don't work for your body. If your body is aligned to the cosmic meridians, then you are communicating 24/6 with Allah. You're in salat 24/6. وَهُمْ عَلَى صَلَاتِهِمْ daimun. This is the original product of the human cycle and the human species. When before we became contaminated and occupied and invaded and given different ordeals of the world, as a pure a human, your body was your telephone. That was your phone. That was your computer. If you know how to, where the different apps are, what is the energy of why we must ensure that the liver is always constantly cleansed, okay? Why we must walk bare feet, how the lymphatic nodes are drained. This is things we knew in our nature. You know it because your body works for you. You don't work for your body. You have just been taken to another planet where you have become slaves and worshipping gods that don't exist, okay? And given a brand, you're a Yahud, you're a Muslim, you people that don't exist in Allah. Allah don't divide, Allah don't hate, Allah don't separate. It's us that had made it so comfortable in Jahannam. But in Allah's care, subhanallah, Allah only wills good, and He only commands with the good, okay? He wills and loves all of us, whether it is Donald Trump or whether it is whoever. Allah loves everybody. It's us that decide who we must hate and who we must deny entry to a God which nobody can control. That's all the layers of darkness that is covered and that we cannot connect to the ancestors that gives us the wisdom. Okay, that's birth, that's invented, that is your inventory inside of your bones, inside of your system. If you don't understand the system of the body inside of you, you will never understand Allah and you will never know who you are. And that is what the ancestors of our tribes had always maintained, that the children eat organic, eat from the earth, be compatible to the environment, and love their own before they love others. May Allah give us acceptance, and may you have a beautiful iftar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
يا مصطفى كل شيء